All right.
This is, I don't know what the date is, but this is prior to World War II.
Okay.
Now, we lived, this is when the draft started. No, I don't think the draft started. It was they mustered us into service. And we lived in tents for almost a year, squat tents, while they were building these barracks.
Yeah.
And this was a part of an old square division, which had 4 infantry regiments.
Wow.
So this was a.
And where was this picture taken again?
In Fort Dix, New Jersey.
And about what year was it taken again?
1940.
And you were serving, you must have just graduated, or how old were you?
I was just a kid.
16?
I'm in here someplace.
Weren't you born in 23?
22.
Okay, so you were 18. You just turned 18 at this point.
I don't know where. I'm in here somewhere. Oh, here.
There you are.
You can see I was just a kid.
Wow.
In fact, to get into service, I forged my age. On my discharge, the discharge is wrong. My discharge said I was born in 1921. But I forged my age to get into service.
You wanted to get in. Why did you want to get in? To serve your country? Or?
Yeah, everybody was gung-ho in those days, you know?
Yeah.
And this, I want to show you this. This was when I was in Alsace-Lorraine. And I sent this is what they call V-mail.
Right, I've got all the letters my granddad sent home.
Well, this is the only one I got left. I sent it to my father and my mother. They just etched them out. And I didn't realize that email, when we sent it home, that they blew it up this big. That's the only thing I got left on that V-mail.
And that was 1944 Christmas?
Yeah, it should be,
yeah, 12/144 right there.
It should be up there.
12/144.
Somewhere in France.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You know, it's hard to believe that we went through all of this.
Yeah.
All right, now the next thing I'm going to show you is some pictures that we took. We found a German aircraft, I don't know whether it was Messerschmitts or Focke-Wulf, and we took the camera out of it. You know, and it was a Leica camera. Well, I didn't know. The guys I was with that knew photography. This all has to be changed. These are all pictures that were taken with that Leica camera, the German camera. You're here. You remember I told you we met the 88? This is Brenner Pass here, is it?
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. There's a lot of pictures in here. Here I am again.
Wow. And you got it out of a German?
It came out of a German fighter plane.
Were you all the first to find it, or were you all the first to discover that?
Some of the other fellows, I didn't find it. Some of the other fellows in the outfit went and scavenged this, I think it was a Messerschmitt, and they found this camera, like a camera in there, and it was automatic. Well, you wound it up, and you just push a button, and it would automatically move the film. That was something new in those days. This is all in Austria. This is Innsbruck. Yeah.
Those are sites my granddad probably saw.
This is Innsbruck. Well, I don't know if he came into Innsbruck, because they were in Italy.
Yeah.
Now, he had to cross the Brenner Pass to come into Italy. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is 28th Division.
Yeah.
That's the old Keystone Division from Pennsylvania. It's a National Guard division from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could find anything interesting in here.
And that's you?
That's me, yeah. This is me. This is some girl I was going with over. This was in Landsberg, Germany. I met this girl. She was a Finnish girl that ran away from the Russians, and she ended up in Germany. You know, I've forgotten. I haven't seen these things in maybe 40 years. Here I am again. Here's parts of Brenner Pass.
Can you describe do you remember where you were and what you were doing in any of these pictures?
Well,
this was at the end of the war, right?
This is towards the end of the war.
But it wasn't over? Y'all were still...
Well, when we got here, it was over for us, but it wasn't VE Day. See, this is where we met the 88th Division coming in from Italy.
So as far as y'all were concerned, it was over?
Right, it was over for us. They pulled us back, the unit, this MP unit, we went back into Innsbruck, and we lived in a little town called Hungerberg. I might have pictures of it and all. But this is all the boys I was with. The boys, God knows who's alive and who's not. Here, see, this is that Brenner Pass again. I forget what a lot of this stuff is. Let's see. Here we go. This, I forget where this castle was. if I'm not mistaken, this was in the little church in Hungerburg. Here, it shows devastation here. And this is all at the Brenner Pass right here.
Wow.
This is not. This isn't at Hungerburg. This was the division headquarters in Hungerburg. It's about, I guess, 3,000 miles, 3,000 feet above Innsbruck. And it's Hungerburg is the name of the town. And the division headquarters was there. This is one of the, look at this thing, it's all coming apart.
The 25th Division?
No, 103rd Division.
Okay.
This is the 103rd Division. This is a cable car that comes from Innsbruck to Hungerburg. Let's see, this is all at the Brenner Pass, of course. All of that's at the Brenner Pass. Let's see what else we got here. No, this is all Austria again.
Are these your pictures?
No,
or?
not these. These are commercial pictures.
Yeah.
These are our pictures here.
You
This
guys
is
were-
that Hungerburg. No, this is the top of the mountain. This is higher up than
Wow.
Hungerburg.
Y'all are way
This,
up.
this mountain is called the Helicopharts in Innsbruck. It's 7,000 feet high.
Wow. Did
So-
you take these pictures, or
You know, one of the guys.
is that you, or is that some?
I can't tell. I don't
can't?
think. I don't think
Okay.
it is me. Yeah, that was the Helicophar. Let's see what else we got here.
There's you.
Now this is back in the States again. This is at Fort Dix.
Before the war? Or
This is
after?
before the war.
Okay.
This is all, here I am as a kid. You know, all before the war. I can't, we gotta do something with these pictures. Yeah, this is, what they called May West tanks in those days. They were no good.
Yeah.
So I used to be a tank driver at one time. This is my mother and father at Fort Dix.
They came down to see you?
Yeah.
Is that you with a machine gun?
Yeah.
But you never fired a
No,
machine gun,
well, I
did you?
fired them, but I wasn't in the machine gun squad. I was in the rifle squad in the. Here's pictures from Austria now when I was in.
That's a water-cooled, isn't it?
Let me see
So-
what it is.
50 caliber water-cooled machine
It's a
gun.
30 caliber water cool. That's the old type machine gun. Had a big jacket around it and they run water through it. These are two pictures of it when I was in Europe.
MP. So
I
you
still
had
got
to
that
deal with
picture.
rowdy GIs, huh?
No, I was in the 103rd Division. It was what they call a Division MP. What we did was traffic, and our main job was security for division headquarters. Now this is all in Fort Dix.
Yeah, and there's a 30 caliber air cooled, is that right?
Yeah,
that was one of the primary
that
weapons.
was one of the new ones that came out. It's 1941.
Yeah.
It's before the war started. You can see the difference in the uniforms and all. Let's see what else is in here. Now we're back into Innsbruck. This is, remember I told you about the cable car going
Yeah.
to the top? This incline railway took you halfway up.
And
Then
you
you
had to take
transferred
the-
to the cable car.
Right.
Then after the war was over, after VE Day, the people in Innsbruck gave us a big parade, and all, because we marched in it and all.
The people of Innsbruck, Austria did?
Yeah,
Even though they were Austrians?
Yeah,
even though
they were
German?
glad. They were glad to see us come in.
'Cause it
So,
was
so
over?
they say it was over too.
Yeah. Just
And-
to have the war
Right.
over.
And General Patton came and put streamers on the regimental flags. Because I don't think he's in there. I don't think I got pictures of him. This is Hermann Göring's train. Now that's in, I can't think of the name of the town now. And here's that little church I was telling you. See, here's the inside of the church.
And what was significant about the church?
Well, the church, we were in Hungerburg when the war was over, and that's where I used to go. It was a Catholic church. I'm not Catholic. It's the only one there, so that's where I used to attend.
Okay.
This is back up there, halfway up the mountain, and that's part of the parade. Here, this is where, these are bad pictures, but this is when General Patton came and reviewed the troops, and he put streamers on the flags, on the flags.
He reviewed the 103rd, but why
103rd.
was he the general in charge of the
He was in
103rd?
the, he was in the, no, he was in the Third Army.
I thought he was the 3rd Army.
Yeah, he was in
Armored.
the Third Army. We were in the Seventh Army.
So why was he reviewing the?
Well, the war was over.
So he was just.
So he
reviewing-
just came in, I guess, protocol or something, and we had the division review for him, and then
Okay.
he puts the streamers, on the regimental flags.
Yeah. Why was that a big deal, having the streamers on regimental flags? What
It's citations.
okay.
If you look at the First Division,
Right.
Second Division, or even the First Army, the streamers, they're like that. There's so many of them. It's like a citation that you
Okay.
get.
Okay.
Now, this is all in Innsbruck, part of Brenner Pass, and
Yeah.
some of the damage. There wasn't much damage. See, Innsbruck was surrendered to us.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some big pictures. They blew these up. This is right at the border.
And are you in there?
Yeah, I'm in there someplace.
That's you on the
That
end, I
right
think.
here.
Oh,
I
is
mean,
that you?
I think that's me
Looks
right
like
here.
you. Okay.
Right. Or is this? No,
Yeah.
maybe it's this one.
That
Yeah,
one.
that's me.
Okay.
Well, you tell better here.
Let
Am
me
I
see
in
if I
that?
can. Let me see if I can pick you out.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
you?
that's me.
Yeah.
We're all MPs, military policemen.
Wow.
Took a vacation there.
Yeah.
Now, this is in Innsbruck. This is my uncle.
Yeah.
He was in the 42nd Division.
Wow, that was.
And when the war was over, when VE Day actually came, I went over and brought him back to Innsbruck.
Yeah.
So I took some pictures there with him. See, these are all mixed up. These are back in Germany now.
Yeah.
Now, this is part of the Brenner Pass here. That's my uncle.
Yeah. With some local children.
With local kids in Austria, in Innsbruck. I can't tell what some of these are. There's some German prisoners we used to use them for KP.
What's KP again?
Kitchen police.
Okay.
Here's the Brenner Pass. Here's all at the Brenner. Here's a picture of me. There's a guy fooling around. This man was the head of the FFI in that area of Alsace-Lorraine. See, this is all in Alsace now. And the FFI was the Free Forces of the Interior, something like that. And he was the head of it
Risking
in
his
that
life.
area.
Yeah.
These people,
A French gentleman. Right?
this is, this was Alsace-Lorraine.
Yeah. Alsace-Lorraine is
Yeah.
kind of mixed German.
It's,
French, right?
it's right along the Rhine River, it's close. These people, when we were in Imsheim, I lived they billeted us in the house with these people.
And that was after the war, right?
No, it was during the war. We were in Alsace-Lorraine.
Okay.
This is one of the friends, one of the MP friends. I guess that's about it, just pictures
Playing around with the hat.
playing around. Let's see if there's anything, oh, I gotta get a new book. These things, it's so old, it's just falling apart. These are regular commercial pictures.
Yeah.
Here we are again. This is still in Alsace. That's what we look like,
Yeah.
Not much to look at
Yeah.
when you look at today's kids. This is back in somewhere in Innsbruck. No, this looks like Heidelberg. No, you know what this is? This is Landsberg. This is the prison where Hitler was, where he wrote Mein Kampf, and this was with Landsberg, Germany. This is the immediate officers in the last unit I was with.
And here's y'all reaching out to some local
This
women.
is in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is in Italy. I thought I had a picture.
Were there some beautiful women there?
Well, during the war you couldn't tell because there was no makeup for those girls or anything. These are all commercial pictures. Who's this? Oh, that's a picture of me when I was in service.
Yeah.
That's in the States, though. That's before I went overseas.
Yep.
And
Who's
here,
this?
This is that same girl I showed you that I met her in Innsbruck.
Yeah.
No, I met her
That's
in
a real pretty
Landsberg. Yeah, I
picture.
met her in
She-
Landsberg. Yeah, Germany, 1945. Yeah, that's what that is. I thought I had a picture of the darn. Yeah, here it is. This is when we went to southern France. We used to call them cows. It's a barrage balloon.
Right,
And you
right.
can't see it, but there's cables hanging down.
Yeah.
And what it did, it kept the enemy airplanes from coming too low, strafing you. We landed in a little town called Saint Maxime, and every ship had one of these barrage balloons. But we hit a storm going between Corsica and Sardinia,
Yeah.
and we were the next morning. We were the only ones that had a barrage balloon. Everything else blew away.
Wow. Did it ever come in handy? Did you ever get strafed?
Not on a ship. No, we had no opposition when we went in.
Yeah.
Now here's some more pictures from. This is still in the States. I forget where we were. Probably some kind of maneuvers. All of this is in the States.
Yeah.
Here's those tents I told you we lived in for almost a year
Mhm.
before they built those barracks.
Hmm.
That's all before the war, and I think that's just about it. What have I got here? Oh, this is the. It's upside down. This is the USS Lejeune. Now this is the ship that I came back on from Europe.
Wow.
And here's the, I sent away for this one. This is a race line ship. And it's the same type that I went overseas on, but the one I went overseas on was the Santa Maria.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same. This is just a friend of mine. I think that's about it as far as this goes. Oh, wait a minute. There's something else here. This is, well, you saw these. There's a, that's my father and mother.
Let me get a good shot of that. Father and mother, and
Right.
there's somebody else there
My
too.
kids, who the heck is there? Oh, this is my kid. This is the one that just passed away. As you can see, the helmets we used to use in those days.
Yeah, the World War I type.
Yeah.
So he was pretending, I guess. With
He was just a kid. I was a kid myself, so he's about 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And this is my older brother here.
Yeah.
He's the one that lives in Florida. And just
Where did your older brother serve?
he served in the 79th Division in Europe.
What was his job?
He was a
Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee. How's that? That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
He was a staff sergeant. He got hit in the hedgerows. He got hit early.
In the hedgerows?
He got hit in the hedgerows, and they sent him to England because there was no hospitals there. I told Marie we got to get a new book.
Yeah.
So
he was a sergeant. He was on the front lines then. If he was hit.
He was in the infantry. He was a squad leader.
Oh,
He got into
gosh.
after the invasion. I don't know what day they went in. He was in the 79th Division. He was in the 313th Infantry.
Yeah.
And when he got to the hedgerows is where he got wounded.
Yeah.
But being no hospitals there, they sent him back to England.
Right.
And what he did was when he recuperated, they didn't send him back. They made him a physical instructor.
Right.
So he never went back to the front. And now this is the last thing I want to show you.
What type of wound did he suffer?
He got hit. He got hit with shrapnel in his.
Mortar.
Well, I think it was 88.
Artillery.
I think it was 88. He got hit and it cut part of his buttocks off and almost cut his big toe off.
Did
So
he?
He was hit pretty bad.
He didn't bleed to death, though, obviously, because he made it.
No.
So it was kind of $1 million wound in a way.
Yeah, it was, especially that they never sent him back to the front. It
Yeah.
was like $1 million. Well, I got to do something about this.
Because he was missing part of his buttocks. I guess that was enough to keep
missing
him
his
up.
buttocks and his big toe. But
His big toe was shot off, or
well, it was hanging. They managed to put it back on.
Yeah.
That's all I can show
He was
you
in
there.
charge of
Now,
the squad of infantry. Gosh.
This is a book that after I was home and all, this is a book that the division sent me.
Yeah.
And this shows you, the main thing I want to show you, this tells you the whole division, what we did, but there's
And
only
you're talking about the 103rd, right?
103rd Division.
But weren't you in 2 divisions and you got transferred?
Yeah, I drove for Fifth Army when I was in Italy.
Right.
And then I was attached to the 2nd Replacement Depot. And what we did is pick up new troops, bring them to the front,
Yeah.
come back with ammunition and all.
What division were you in the 5th Army when you were
Well, I was just with the...
just attached to the 5th Army?
I was just attached to the...
Truck driver.
Yeah.
And were you the one who told me about a sniper who hit one of your...
What the heck am I looking for?
Somebody told me about a sniper who was a truck driver in Italy, and I think I might have read about it, but he was hit by a sniper.
I want you to glance through this too, but there's just one thing I want to show you here that might be interesting to photograph. Because this is the book I loaned to the rabbi.
How long were you serving with the 5th Army in Italy?
Well, I went to Africa first. In Africa, all they did was, the war was over in Africa.
Yeah.
So I went into when the heck was it? We went into Naples, which there was no fighting there either. And I just stayed there until after, I stayed with the replacement depot until Rome was captured and all. And then
That was a long
we got ready to
time.
go
So
in.
you were there
Well, it wasn't
for
that
about
long.
3 months. It was June, right
Yeah.
after D-Day, June 7th,
right
wasn't
after
it?
D, right.
And
That's
then
when I went in. I went in after D-Day.
Right.
D-Day was over before I got over. Here's what I wanted to show you. That might be interesting to photograph. This is Landsberg.
Landsberg, were you there at Landsberg?
Yeah, we were here. See, this is part of the division book.
Did y'all liberate Landsberg?
Yeah, we liberated Landsberg, and then we took care of it. I didn't even know this stuff was there until they called us out.
Yeah.
See, we had the people. We had them dig graves for them, and we had them carry the bodies.
So you were there making sure these people dug the graves and
Well, we
carried
were
the bodies?
MPs. We oversaw all of it.
So you were there watching, make sure everything
Yeah.
was going along.
The one thing about something like this, there's nothing worse than the smell of a dead body. And and even in Italy they buried the dead just under the ground when I was there, and the stench came up. And it took me, when I got home, discharged, it took me over a year to forget that smell. If my mother would be cooking and she'd use garlic, to me, it smelled like that. No matter, any strong smell reminded me of the death smell. But,
Man. So how many days were you there on duty?
Here?
At
Landsberg?
Yes, sir.
No, it wasn't long, about maybe 30 days, 40 days at the most.
30, 40 days you were there.
But see, this is the same town where, here's the prison. This was this. Remember that prison I showed you?
Yeah.
This is inside of it.
Yeah.
See, Hitler was in that cell.
Yeah.
I loaned this book to the rabbi. He was making something here
Which rabbi?
Here in Huntsville.
Yeah.
He's making some kind of a thing about the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And a lot of people never heard it. You hear of Dachau, you hear of all these big prisons. Nobody heard of this little place. But on a small scale, it's just as bad.
It killed probably just as, no telling how many people lost their lives at Landsberg.
Well, I don't know how many hundreds we found.
It took you 30 to 40 days for you to bury them, right?
No, I don't know. In this book it says that we made them dig the graves and all, but they probably did some of it. But we had bulldozers dig mass graves, bulldozers dug it out, and we had them carry them and put them in.
Yeah.
These are some kind. You want to look at this book.
What did you do with the German officers, or what happened to the German?
Well, we had regular prison camps when they surrendered. Innsbruck had a big prison camp. Innsbruck had a big prison camp.
So the German officers weren't prosecuted for it, really?
Not the German soldiers. The guys that were in charge of this were like SS men. It wasn't the German soldiers, because the Wehrmacht had good soldiers, good work.
So the SS, hopefully they were
the SS was, some of the SS units were elite units in Germany. They were good units. That's the ones that, and I can't say that all the SS units were like that.
So did you have to order people to dig graves?
Yeah, we got the orders. You know when you heard of the Bulge, right?
Right.
You remember
the Ardennes forest?
Right. And General McAuliffe was in charge of that. He was in General McAuliffe was in charge of the 101st.
Yeah.
The Airborne Division. Well, after that was all over, he came and took over our division. In fact, when we were here, he was in charge. He's the one that gave the orders for.
And the 101st was probably merged into the 103rd, maybe?
No, the 101st is the Airborne Division.
Yeah, I knew, but the 101st was in Innsbruck, and I know they went to Berchtesgaden, where Hitler's...
Well, Berchtesgaden, that's the 42nd went to Berchtesgaden.
Okay.
42nd Division went to Berchtesgaden.
Okay.
I don't know where the 101st ended up.
Yeah.
They were in the Bulge, but I don't know where they ended, because there's so many divisions. I used to have a chart showing every division that was in Europe, and God knows what happened to it.
But at Landsberg, did you bring this? Where were the civilians brought in from?
I have no. You mean
the civilians that you were overseeing?
Oh, you mean these people?
Yeah.
They were residents in Landsberg. We just rounded them up. Anybody that we figured was over 15 years old, we just rounded them up.
That's said, get down here and start digging.
Right. We just brought them there.
Hauling these bodies.
Right.
Would they have to drag the bodies from their bunkers?
Yeah, they had to go into the bunkers there, laying all over. They just picked them up. Two people on each body.
Was it mostly starvation, or was it?
No, I think it was. Yeah, this is definitely starvation.
Yeah.
But God knows what they did.
Did they kill them? They probably shot them all before they left, and.
I don't know.
There were no living people at Landsberg?
Not in a prison camp. We didn't find any there because it was all over.
Could you tell if it was Jewish or Polish, or you couldn't tell? Just a bunch of dead people.
Just dead people. They all look alike.
Yeah.
Once they're dead, they just all look alike.
Is that that was a.
Trying to find a picture of McAuliffe. Yeah,
I read a book about 101st, and I've got.
Yeah, was a good unit.
Was he at Bastogne?
Yeah.
So he was the general who said nuts?
Yeah, General McAuliffe is the one that said nuts. And after that was all over, he was reassigned and he took over the 103rd Division. Here's what the Air Corps did to that unit, German unit.
Let me get a shot of that. Is that 88s?
No,
Oh, all the horses,
those are just the wagon trains, you know.
the supply line.
Yeah, you'd be surprised of how inadequate some of the troops were, especially the Hungarian troops. Hungarian troops had all horses and, you know, no motorized equipment.
Yeah.
You can glance through this book if you want.
Yeah, I need to,
Yeah, so the rabbi...
so for 30 days y'all were there smelling the stench.
Well, no matter where you went, especially in Italy, no matter where you went, it was just the constant smell.
You could smell it,
Mhm.
all the dead bodies.
Oh, God, it's sickening. It's a sickening smell. There's nothing that smells as bad as a dead body.
So it was just in the air in general, and then it got stronger depending on where you went?
Right.
Even though it was wintertime, it was still
Yeah,
strong?
Still smell it. Unless it gets into your brain, it could get into your brain. And you just, like I said, when I come home, it took me at least a year to get that out of my system. No matter what strong smell, it always brought it back that it was the dead bodies.
Gosh.
Yeah, we were in Germany twice. And I'll have to tell you the story. I can't remember the town. They'll probably tell you in that book. And the Germans came and we were retreating out of this town in Germany. And we thought it was a big retreat. They took us out and they reestablished somewhere else. But until after the war was over, I read Eisenhower's book. And what had happened, it shows you how little the average soldier knows. What had happened is when that happened in the Bulge, see, we were south. When that happened in the Bulge, they put troops in there, had to string the line out, and they pulled us out. And here we're thinking it's a big retreat, but it was a reorganization. I had to come home to find that out. But the GI don't know anything that's
So you
happening.
were worried that maybe something was going wrong?
Well,
Or that maybe-
they pushed us back to, I forget that. See, I can't remember the name of the town. I think it was Obermodern.
Did you walk? Was it mostly done on foot? Were you?
No, well, we were MPs. We had vehicles. We were motorized.
So the MPs were kind of lucky than just the foot soldier.
Oh yeah,
It was-
we were lucky.
Did you feel blessed to be?
Sure, that was a great deal for me to be an MP. I had no training as an MP. They trained me. See, I was an infantry soldier. I was an infantry soldier, and when I was in the States, I drove tanks in the States.
Yeah.
But when the 103rd got over, the 103rd, a couple of other divisions came over at the same time. They came over short. They didn't have enough
They
soldiers.
pulled you out of Italy.
They had a squad. All they had was one squad of MPs, and they needed to build it up to a platoon. So they came into where we were, and they started picking troops out that they thought they could train. Lucky, I don't know why they picked me
Do you
out.
remember the day you were picked for MP and who picked you?
Well, it was in the replacement depot in Epinal, France. And these officers come down, they start picking different guys out. You come with us.
Just arbitrarily
Just
pointed at you and
pointed
picked
us.
you?
I don't know what the criteria was, but they picked me.
Possibly saving your life.
Yeah, they did. Otherwise, I would have ended up maybe the 101st, because once you're in a replacement depot, you don't know where you're going to end up. Where they just, as they need replacements, they just send you up. So that.
So you were all alone. I mean, there was nobody, you weren't with anybody. It was just you on
No.
your own, and they
Yeah.
grabbed you out of there
Right.
and said,
Just
you're
put
going
me
here.
out.
So you
Just
kind of
put
felt,
me
you
out.
must
And there
have,
wasn't much training, because what you did is, what we did was, like I said, our main job was securing the Division CP. Division CP had the war room, they had the general's headquarters was there, and that's what we did. We
so in a
protected
way you
that.
were the lucky, extremely
Yeah,
lucky.
and how, we were extremely lucky.
In Epinal, France, when was that? When were you picked for MP duty?
Well, I can just about tell you. Let's see what the heck we are here. Because Epinal, France, this whole beginning of the book is the training, and I wasn't in this unit then. Let's see if it tells you here.
Probably not many people were who lived. And
Saint-Dié, that's the first big battle, I think, Saint-Dié. So it's right around here is where I joined the 103rd. Let's see. And that's when they first came over. All right, New Men on Old Mountain. Now, somewhere in here, if there's a date in here is when
was
around here.
was it fall or was it summer?
It was winter.
It was winter.
It was
so
winter.
December probably.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It might have been November, because December is when I sent that, remember I showed you that Christmas thing?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So it must have been in either October or November.
So June 7th, the fall of Rome, until December, you were kind of in.
Well, I drove,
until-
I was still with that, when I got to France,